Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and welcome back for the next to the last time to the Decan Walk, hashtag Decan Walk 2023. We are in the final Decan of Pisces, and it just so happens to be the final Decan. Now, Marlena Teresa, I usually wait till her video's up so I can follow along and do the spread that she creates. But I'm pretty sure she's starting it tomorrow. Technically, you can start it today or tomorrow for the new Decan, according to the wheel here. It says, where am I at? Pisces. 10 of Cups is the card. March 11th through the 20th on here. But, because I've been late every day, every time this Decan, I am following the 36 Secrets by T. Susan Chang. She shows it from March 10th or 11th. So I'm doing this part today, and then tomorrow I'll do the spread that Marlena Trace is going to do on hers when she does the Decan Walk tomorrow. So I have quite a few things I wanted to read in the book because this one was fantastic. Now this is Mars in Pisces. The 10 of Cups, as I just said, is the card for this specific Decan. Mars, as we know, is the Tower, and as we know, Pisces is the Moon card. So I just find it fascinating how we have such an upbeat, beautiful card surrounded by all this mystery and darkness from the Tower. And I'm like, here's the Pisces I know. Despite the fact most of the Pisces I know are, well, there's a couple Pisces I know that are in the first Decan, but all the Pisces I don't get along with falls in this cycle, in this Decan. And I can see why now, considering that the Moon and the Tower are both part of this Decan. I can see why we don't get along. Makes sense. Because in a normal circumstances, which would be this, a Moon card is about hidden things being hidden or kept from you. And the Tower is basically everything breaking down because, you've, whatever. So I just find that fascinating that these are shrouded in this last Decan. And, as always, I'm using the Journey of the Sacred Bee also because it's the Thoth version of this Decan. So here we have the Tower. Beautiful. We have the Moon. Beautiful. And then we have the 10 of Cups, which is satiety is the word here, keyword here, which I find interesting. But paired with the Tower and the Moon card, it gives that a whole new meaning, which I find fascinating. So let's read. I'm going to take these away. I have quite a bit to read. I wanted to read out of the book here. Let me get my light here. And I'm leaving that up just because you have something to look at while I read. It says, the 10 of Cups, Pisces 3, the Rainbow Unwoven. At long last, we arrive at Pisces 3, the consummation devoutly to be wished. In my neighborhood at this time of year, the snows have receded and the sap is running. Each still leafless maple bears a bucket like an umbrella on a dandy's arm. At first glance, the 10 of Cups is a fairy tale ending. The happy couple, their dancing children, the cozy home, the rainbow. But as its associated majors imply, the Tower and the Moon, there is more to this idyllic than meets the eye. Chasing rainbows. Mars rules this last Decan of the zodiacal year. Because we have 7 planets and 36 faces, 7 times 5 equals 35 plus 1. Mars also rules Aries 1, the first Decan of the zodiacal year. In other words, Mars bookends the year. So we started with Mars in Aries way back when, last March. And now we're ending with the Mars, the Tower card in March, which I find fascinating. I sometimes think of Pisces 3 as a curtain of mist, a waterfall through which we glimpse hazily the new year to come. And in the liminal space between watery Pisces and fiery Aries, we can expect things to happen. When the sun shines through rain, where fire and water meet, the rainbow arises. Though it is never for long, according to Waite, it is contemplated in a wonder and ecstasy by a man and woman below. Evidently husband and wife, the two children dancing near them, have not observed the prodigy but are happy after their own manner. In other words, he implies this is no mere meteorological phenomenon, but something out of the ordinary, even magical. I've recently started thinking of the 8, 9, and 10 of Cups sequence as analogs to the flood myth in Genesis 8, or in Genesis. 8 of Cups is the watery devastation in which only the ark and its refugees are spared. 9 of Cups, the card of wishes, is Noah's act of hope, sending out the raven and the dove to search for land. And the 10 of Cups is the safe deliverance of living creatures sealed by God's covenant, whose signature is the miraculous and not merely meteorological rainbow. Striking the set at the Moonlit Light Theater. The rainbow trope, I think, gives it to an idea of how we might dig deeper than the surface bliss of the 10 of Cups, and how it relates to the tower and the moon. Like the rainbow, the vision of happiness is the 10 of Cups is just that, a vision. It's like the title card you see at the end of 1940s movies, The End. It is the wedding at the end of the romantic comedy, but the moon is the wellspring of illusions. Perhaps the 10 of Cups vision of perfect joy is pure lunar glamour, a temporary enchantment that will pass even as the moon waxes and wanes. Sorry, there's a shadow because I got a light on my other phone to read. The couple and the children occupy what might well be a raised platform or a stage. Behind the curtain, the stagehands are already striking the set. The curtain falls, the false-fronted village collapses to the ground. The background scrim with its artful illusion of perspective crumples in a heap. The tower strikes. And in retrospect, you knew it would all along. Great appetites and fevered dreams. Perhaps the deconstructive attitude is also responsible for the frenzied apocalyptic images passed down to us from the Decan commentators. A shrieking woman standing in water, beset by spirits, a naked man crying and covered with serpents, another shouting from fear of thieves and fire, evil men and lustful women, and great appetite, which seems to cover everything from delight and material intimacy to bestial acts. Like images glimpsed on the surface of a moonlit sea, these apparitions are literally dissolute. They aren't real, but then again, here at the Piscean end of all things, what is? I love that. And then it says, whether you see the 10 of Cups as a fantasy to fulfill, an illusion to shadow, or a parable of love and loss, depends on where you stand. Is that rainbow magical because of or despite its fleeting nature? Which I found interesting. And then the takeaway, when you draw the 10 of Cups, chances are you will find something worth enjoying. If it doesn't happen spontaneously, it is in your power to make it so. We are in control of the narrative. If you choose the right endpoint, bliss can shimmer into view. Perhaps I'm worried about the meeting at 4 p.m., but right now, on this street, I hear birdsong. I see the first tulip leaves thrusting their tips through the soil. I see a cloud shaped like a dolphin. But what undeserved good fortune have I arrived at this moment in this single human life? Even if you cannot rid yourself of the awareness that all perfection is fleeting, that only underscores the preciousness of the joy at hand. Hold it lightly and let it pass. Tomorrow we begin again. And I just found that interesting. It just keeps coming back to this cyclical nature of things. Just, I had a really good time reading this. And this put to me in perspective a lot of, maybe this, not only is this the Decan I understand why the people I don't get along with, but it also makes me understand why this is the Decan I understand the most too. At the same time, it's weird. So then we have the poem. It says, "After Love" by Maxine Kluman. "Afterward the compromise. Bodies resume their boundaries. These legs, for instance, mine. Your arms take you back in. Spoons of our fingers, lips admit their ownership. The bedding yawns, a door blows aimlessly ajar, and overhead a plane sings songs coming down. Nothing has changed except there was a moment when the wolf, the mongering wolf who stands outside the self, lay lightly down and slept." And that's it for all of the Decans, which I found just fascinating. My takeaways for the Decan walk is that I felt like I've been these watery, because I'm a Virgo, I'm an earth sign. So I'm very grounded, very down to earth, very much a hermit, which is Virgo. I had a hard time navigating. I knew I would have a hard time navigating the Decans that have these emotional ties, these watery ties, because there's very much emotion tied to them. And there were a few where I'm like, oh my God, it's killing me. I feel like I'm drowning in just emotion. This one wasn't as bad, just because I knew going in. I know so much about Pisces already. I was mentally preparing myself, I think, for this specific Decan. But not this specific Decan, but the three Decans of Pisces, I was mentally preparing myself for. But then when I saw, here we have the Tower and the Moon in this specific Decan, I'm like, wait a minute. And it's offset by the Ten of Cups. And then it's that moment where she speaks of, you can almost see the glimpse of the new year through the waterfall that is Pisces going into Aries, one with, again, the Tower card, the Mars energy. And I found it interesting because the very first Decan we had was Aries 1, has Mars energy. I literally felt like I was burning to the ground, like burning alive in that Decan. And if there's anything I've taken away from any of this Decan walk at all, it's that I have the capability to feel that energy. And there was a few times where I felt the next planet or energy of the planet before we were, like 2 days before we were into that Decan. So I found that very interesting and fascinating as well. So I just found that interesting. So I just wanted to show you guys real quick before I get off here for the final walk, Decan walk, my 3 favorite cards of these. So my favorite I don't really have a favorite Ten of Cups, but if I did, it would be in the Superlunaris, because they're Native American and it's a stunning background, stunning rainbow, stunning cups, but here is just, it's stunning. And she's a Native American. I love it. And then we have my favorite Tower card. I have a few favorite towers, but this is from the Tarot of the She. And let me tell you, when you realize that the mask, she's shedding the mask and bursting forth as a new person, it's just like, what is happening? And I did want to read you guys from the book because it's poetry. And I'm all about poetry all the time anymore. Just the poem in the Tower card. Where is it? The Tower. Well, there's not a poem in the Tower. Huh. It says, I am the burning lightning truth of your innermost divine soul. Strip away, blow away the empty mask of forgetfulness and know your sacred truth. Although fabulous. From my eyes, illusion is burned away. From my voice are ripped all lies. From my heart is torn all distrust. Freeing the wings of my ascension. Chilling, but beautiful. I stand in the cosmos as one born into a new life. The comforting bandages of the old are scorched to oblivion. I know the pain of loss, and through that pain, I find my greatest gift. I find a blazing fire. I found my soul, my truth, my strongest foundation. The sparks become a blazing fire as the ego weeps at its demise. Follow me beyond the sorrow and find the startling vision of your own eternity. Whoa. Does it say eternity? Yes. That is fabulous. And I totally forgot about that. This is my favorite tower card. It's stunning and I freaking love it. And then my favorite moon card, if you've ever paid attention to any of my videos, because I mentioned it to the point of making myself sick. It is from the Encore Tarot. This moon card is everything. Everything. Just the simple fact she's broken away from the wolf. She's still attached to the dog, but she's completely naked. And it's almost like she is so... I don't even know what the word I'm looking for. She's so free in this moment. And I've said before, I almost feel jealous of this person in this image that can go out there and just bear all and be free of society and the everything. And it's just like, whoa, I could never be this free, but I envy this woman in this image that can be. And I freaking love it. Yeah, so that is my favorite moon card ever. His mass market, one of his mass market decks has this image, but the girl's missing. It's the same image. And I find it interesting because I use that deck, the Grand Lux Tarot. This is the same moon from that, but she's missing. So I find it interesting because you can place yourself on that bench where she's at. Because you know there's a person there in this deck. So when I pull out that card deck and use it, I can kind of interchange and put myself in the card. And it's very freeing and very fascinating. But that is my favorites of these three cards. I've had so much fun with this Decan. And again, I will be doing the spread tomorrow night by itself when Marlena Teresa posts her video. I've done every spread that she's done. I love her for taking the time this whole year to do these, make up 36 spreads for every Decan for every 10 days. It's just, it almost gives me anxiety thinking of how much work that must have been. But I so appreciate her for doing that. And I've had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of insights. I dove deeper into tarot than I've ever thought I would go. I learned a little bit more about the zodiac signs, the planets, how they align together, how they don't align together. And it's a lot of it is surface stuff. So if you're into the Decan walk, even if it's just to gather like what symbols are what, I don't still have them all down. But at the same time, I now have this trusty 36 Decans to go back on and look at it anytime I want. I now have decks that I know are geared for those Decans that have the symbols on them and the wording and stuff like that. So it opened my eyes to a lot. It opened the crack for if I do decide to delve deeper into astrology. Let's just put it that way. Because that was the whole point of me doing the Decan walk, was to try to get into astrology more. And I didn't even use my oracle cards. I have 2 or 3 oracle decks geared for astrology, and I didn't hardly use them. So it tells me that I don't really need the oracle decks to delve into that, even though I still love the oracle decks. And someday, just not now, I will be diving into those deeper, even deeper. But that is all I have for you guys. I'm so excited about Marlena Teresa's video. And as soon as she posts it, I will do my spread. And then I will post a link to her video below. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And y'all have a good night.